105 North Avenue 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the objects of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Take him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I am Officer Kevin.
And I am, N is for Chuck Norris, ladies and gentlemen. That's me today. I'm Chuck Norris. Pulling a page out of the old Alphabet of Manliness by Maddox.
Straight out of 2006. We were discussing our favorite memories from Chuck Norris jokes and that sort of humor. I was saying, Chuck Norris doesn't swear. He is a swear word,
He doesn't say slurs. He is a slur. Well, he probably says slurs. He's probably a bad guy.
Gulp. Let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last time, Donovan Castillo, a.k.a. Crip Daddy, a.k.a. Young Crip. And let's give a warm welcome to one old guest and one new guest. We have Ari Grabb back on the show, and we have a brand new guest to the show, Lara DeFord.
Hello.
How are you two?
Hi.
We're pretty good. Well, I don't want to speak for Lara. I'm okay. How are you, Lara?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm
good.
I don't know. I go back and forth, though, of okay. Like, I have okay as a gauge in my head. It's like, And I'd say I'm better than okay. I say I'm good.
Better than
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say, like, anything outside of okay, because if I say good, I'm like, it's going to turn bad soon. And if I say bad, that makes people feel like uncomfortable. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm bad. Oh, I got to go.
I just don't talk to people. I just mean mug them.
And that, I may have to start doing that, I think.
It's a good idea. It's a good move.
A lot less stress,
Yeah.
That's true. If you say you're not anything less than good, that elicits follow-up questions. And you might not want that. You're just answering the question. You're just trying to be authentic.
Say fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
So it is the general blanket summary of like, I'm not great, but you don't have to ask.
I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
I'm hanging
you
in
hit him
there.
you hit him with one of those,
And I feel like that registers to me as like, if you think about it for a little bit, you're like, that's probably not good,
That's
it's like,
basically just, I don't want to move on, move forward.
Yeah, let's go. Speaking of moving on and moving forward, Ari, you are a man of many projects. We've had you on this show numerous times, and I feel like you're always here. You got something new to talk about, an exciting project, exciting TV shows you're working on, cartoons, all sorts of wild stuff in your wheelhouse. And then today, you were here promoting something new once again with your co-host of your new podcast, Perfect Pitches.
I do it all.
Yeah, you really do, man. And I'm very impressed. So we wanted to get you guys on the show because Grant and I were on the show recently, episode released as of the time this comes out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
1.5-ish.
Yeah,
One and a half
I
weeks
think
ago.
that's right.
Yes.
Grant be like, it wasn't 2 weeks, it was 10 days. Okay.
Yeah, 10 days is not 2 weeks. There's another 4 days. Hasn't crossed the threshold yet.
Very good, sweetie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
So now that we've got the counting part of the show out of the way, I want, it's a fun show. You guys play, these Netflix executives. We're pitching you shows. We're saying, hey,
very scummy,
here's my
money-loving producers. Who,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, they're kind of similar in that they're both just very capitalist driven, very just we want a product. I would say my character is more irate, and yours is like just seeing the money more clearly, like, oh, this will definitely work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think I am definitely very open-minded as to what could be of every idea.
Right.
Sort of, not to use the analogy, but good cop, bad cop, just because we're here being pretend cops, as it were. So
Pretend guns.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
we do make them ups.
if we are, if you're, if you have Patreon subscription with us, and if you don't, hit us up over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. Not only can you watch the episode live, but if this goes well, you can watch the episode, the direct feed from the video stream whenever the hell you want.
Well, it didn't go live because I just hit record on OBS.
Well.
There's like there's 4 different applications running right now, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the Matrix. Again, we talk about looking at the Matrix. I'm tuned into it. I got my plug in the back of my head just shooting off sparks, left and right.
Well, now it's working. So now from here on out, it will be working. And if you're watching it now, you're seeing me waving around my green squirt gun in the air. That's for
non-threateningly.
Non-threateningly, of course. Yeah. And let me see. Guessy Zwick in the chat says, I love when Kevin waves a gun around when he talks.
Now everybody knows what I get to deal with, which is Kevin wildly gesturing and pointing a gun at me as we're doing the show.
It keeps things lively, It keeps us, active on our feet.
Once in a while, he gets so angry that he throws the gun at the wall.
We'll see what happens today. Anywho, so Lara, you are also another comedian out in Los Angeles. I don't know if you, because you guys think you guys did some UCB stuff together and other sort of like improvisational stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, comedian's a bold word. I guess I like doing silly stuff.
I consider myself a performer. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. A performer of the arts. But
an artiste, yes.
Yeah, we're on an improv team together. So that's how we initially met. And then we've got our Perfect Pitches podcast. And then I've also got a podcast with a couple of our friends / roommates called Morningwood. And it's all about Elijah Wood.
Oh, yes. Lara is also a recurring character in Bento Banana. She plays the director.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I know, like, Ari told me that. I'm like, oh, now the voice is clicking for me in my head.
Yeah. I mean, I asked her to be much screamier and angry during those recordings than she normally is.
Yeah. I guess that's where it goes. I get to get all of the like angry characteristics out in Ari's stuff of like in Bento, and then so that's why in Perfect Pitches, I guess my character is much more calm.
Yeah, and that's where I get my anger out. There's there's this conversation I hear around improv a lot, where a lot of like newbie beginner improv scenes tend to be a lot of what I've heard described as fake fights. And my theory as to why that happens is because everyone's really angry, but they don't know how to express it. And so improv just feels like being angry is comedy, and I get to be angry now. So let me just scream at this person, and it will be cathartic for me and entertaining for everyone else.
And I feel the same about podcasting. We can, some of the riffing you hear, it's therapeutic.
I agree.
We get a lot off our chest, and people do, respond to conflict in a sort of comedic fashion. So, there's entertainment to be mined, as it were.
It's like one of those aspects, too, where, a lot of what we do with criticism on the show is just like, well, any level of criticism is always more interesting than just being agreeable all the time, Like,
sure.
You're just like, this is good. I like this.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah, it's fun to put your anger in things that don't matter.
I mean, there's probably healthier outlets, but, this is my life, and that is, it is what it is. So, I do want to talk a little bit more about the podcast, though, because it is very funny. It is one of my new favorite podcasts. I do listen to it every week. Yeah, I really do enjoy it.
That's so lovely.
I have found myself laughing out loud a good heck of a lot of times, and especially some of the episodes that some friends of this show have been on. Asterios Kokonos has been on. Sarancho was on this week's episode.
Wow.
That's right.
And I'm like, who the heck? I know these guys. and I'm listening and I'm sitting there and I'm also hearing some new voices that I'm loving too. It's a great show. And it's a great premise. I think that everybody secretly does have an idea for a TV show in their head. You know what? Maybe they want to go for that, you know, and maybe they don't. But they're like, you know, if you've watched enough TV, you probably thought at some point, or enough Netflix or Hulu or whatever, you say, you know, I got an idea for something.
Except for us, because as we were prepping, we were both like, well, what should we should have actually came up with an idea. But I think it worked out pretty well.
I thought it worked great. I remember I always, when I'm making the thumb art, I always listen to the episode, and I was having a really good time re-listening to that one.
And I think what was fun about that was we did have like this like kind of like a basic idea for something, and then you kind of threw in this like other angle at it. We're like, oh yeah, these guys are called the button pushers, you know, which we didn't. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm just gonna dive right into this, you know.
Yeah, you really did. I enjoyed that a lot.
So we ended up having the extra angle of like we were these sort of you know, perhaps somewhat true to life up and coming, you know, wannabe content creators who are like,
I think you're more self-aware than the characters you played in that episode.
Maybe just a touch, but I would say like, yeah. So we kind of handed up in that regard. Was like, oh yeah, you know, we've been doing this, you know, for however long, since 2011. We got 63 subscribers now. So it was just kind of playing with that. Then also pitching this idea of
I hammed up the pretentiousness as much as possible. I floored pedal to metal.
Yep.
As much as possible. I think it worked out.
See, I mean, if you want to hear a fun episode with Grant and I play cousins and streamers and also friends, where we pitch a movie premise that is a love letter to Los Angeles. That's the name. Yeah, check out Perfect Pitches, and that's anywhere where podcasts can be found, and whatever. YouTube, Ari Grabb on YouTube. Reason. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, that's like, you know, Zwick was like, hey, you guys, like, he was bugging us every day for like weeks, where he's like, hey, have you guys gone on Audible yet? Are you guys on Audible yet? And I'm like,
Zwick, no. Shut up. Don't tell us how to do our shit. No, I'm kidding.
Well, then Zwick, I was like,
you're invaluable, or you're valuable. Whatever the good one is.
Inflammable means flammable. A little late episode of The Simpsons reference there. That's how I learned that those words meant the same thing. So I assume that other words that sound similar, like invaluable and valuable, also mean the same thing. So, Zwick, you're valuable.
Sure.
Anywho, let's move right along, though.
Or invaluable because you can't put a price on him, because he's got too much value that you can't possibly...
I'm pricing him out now. I mean, whoever wants him, you know, we're sound off in the chat, you know, I'm taking bids now. Highest bid by the end of the episode gets to take home his Zwick.
He is sort of the show's indentured servant, so.
Kind of the mascot.
I was going to say, I kind of see him as more of a mascot, like that little guy he made for himself, you know, with the little, like, the circle with the glasses and like the little stringy hair on top.
Someone pointed out when I was, I think it was Slime, our good friend Slime to Garbage Main, pointed out that when I was streaming Paper Mario, that Zwick sort of looks like the green-haired Lakitu guy.
He does, yeah, he really does. So that's a very
astute.
It's very apt
observation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitch and streaming and everything, you can follow us over at twitch.tv/thoughtcops. Every Wednesday night and Sunday night, we're streaming on there from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you don't live in that time zone, go ahead and do the math. It's fairly easy. We're there every Wednesday and Sunday night, hanging out, playing games. You know, people are hanging out in the chat. We're having a good time. We're doing all kinds of different stuff on there. Tier rankings, video game streams, really we run the gambit. So give us a follow and a subscription if you want, if you got Twitch Prime, because it's free. Helps us out a lot. You know, we're on there, and it just sort of, nice to hang out with the listeners and have a good time.
I have a very unhealthy and unrealistic expectation whenever I go into your guys' Twitch stream, where I always think, as soon as I say, hey, you will all just stop what you're doing and be like, oh shit, Ari's in the chat, and just like embrace me and be so excited and just respond to everything I say. But yeah, that's not the case. So I can't endorse this channel.
We'll make a moment to pause the game and just set the controller down and be like, you know, fold our hands, like, and how are you?
I want you to be like, everyone in the chat, this dude is so money.
This guy is sick as fuck.
Yeah, you want a full, like, record scratch scene in a movie, like at a party of like, what?
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
And everyone stop and look. There's tension.
And that could be you if you follow us. Hop in the chat.
Yeah.
It can be
you should
one
do
of
that for everyone who follows you. Record scratch, call out.
Yeah, it should be one of the perks.
Hey, maybe we'll talk about that later. Speaking of perks and everything, let's move right along to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show, 2 Minutes of Hate, where we like to blanket punish all that annoying, random crapola that we see on the internet every single day. Because we're addicted. I can't help it. You get the big picture. So my 2 minutes of hate this week, like I said at the beginning of the episode, we're trying something new here. Discord can be very scary and complicated from time to time. We want to make sure everything is working, everything is up to snuff. And we have, of course, a wonderful Discord server where all kinds of crazy conversations are happening at all hours of the day.
Who are you taking your anger out on this week?
Say what?
Which Discordian are you taking?
Oh,
Is
no,
it Yosef?
No one in particular, actually. I have a problem with
It's not Ionet Runner?
We'll see how the rest of the episode goes. But I want to say you want everything to run smoothly. You want everything to go good. It's supposed to be the app, not just the app for gamers, but the app for people who just want to chat. And my 2 minutes of hate this week is sharing links on mobile on Discord, because a lot of times, people post something like I see something on Twitter that's really funny and I'm like, oh, this is going in loony bin right away.
Right.
And it's a 4-image grid on Twitter with you click on it. There's you got to see all the pictures to get the whole joke. You copy the link, you paste it in the Discord server, and then it only shows the first picture. And then sometimes I'll be sending, I'll send it to friends, send it to the Discord server, and they'll only see the first picture, and they will be not even bother to click on the whole thing. So I have to send the link, and then I have to say click for full. And I don't think it's a stretch to just have little tiny previews of it's only four images max on Twitter, and even on Instagram. This has gone back and forth, and I know, speaking of Yosef, I know he's left voicemails about this too, where sometimes the image preview for Instagram posts comes up,
and sometimes it just doesn't. Yeah.
And now it doesn't. They just they brought it back and they took it away again.
Is this only on mobile?
Yeah, I mean, on
I think both, really.
Maybe for Instagram, I know the image previews work a little better on desktop or laptop, or because I think it shows up to 2, maybe. I don't know, but it's definitely a little more gimped on mobile, which is, I don't really use Discord on my computer that much.
I'm the complete
either.
opposite.
You're more of a computer boy.
Computer Discordian.
So it was a lot more of a useful tactic pre-pandemic, but I pretty much don't use any social media on the phone because I don't like it being able to be in my pocket.
Understandable.
At any given moment. And also just Discord is already just such a clusterfuck of vistas all over the place that I want a bigger screen to handle it.
Mm-hmm. And that is true. I mean, obviously we use Discord for broadcasting the live episodes and everything. But yeah, I really guess it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working on something with someone like this, or I'm calling into another show, yeah, I'm going to be on my computer, use Discord. But if I'm just sharing a funny, a few funny pictures, oh, look at the new Simpsons, Chuck's Sneeden feed or whatever it is.
That's true.
And people got to see all the images to get the picture, and they just see the initial one, and they're like, what the heck, man? You're wasting my time. Why are you sharing this with me?
That's fucking bullshit, man.
It is fucking bullshit.
Or
they make you look like a fool.
I'll be scrolling through the TikTok app, and I'll find a funny video, and I'll hit copy link, and I'll paste that in Discord, and it's just only the link, not even a preview, not even anything, just random hyperlink, and it's so what you can do.
Those.
Yeah, and so what you can do is you can download it to your phone and then put it on Discord. But then it's now I have 100 videos on my phone and it's taking up all this space.
And you have no idea what they are. They're just a string of numbers and letters where it's I guess it's on YouTube. I'm assuming it's a video. Who knows what it's about or how long it is, but I guess I will blindly click on this.
Yeah.
And
it
that
wants to
is-
give you the experience of attempting a joke and then having to explain it.
And
Like-
it's not a good feeling. I know, Lara, this is your first time on Discord. I'm sure, like,
Yeah.
this was already confusing enough to, like, get this whole thing up and running. Now, I'm just telling you how annoying it is, even outside of this.
I can attest that I did have it on my phone originally, which is why I struggled so much getting on here. I'm like getting onto my computer today, but I have only had it on my phone, since like yesterday. So I've seen like a few messages of how they come through on the phone, and it gave me I saw an article preview. So that's the very basic context I've got of actual experience with it.
And you know what? The article previews, hey, I appreciate that, okay? But you know, most of the time I'm sharing pics with the
sharing pics with the fellas.
with the mad lads, as it were. And I'm just want to, I don't know. Yes, there's worse, bigger problems in the world. Sure, I guess so. But this is frustrating. And I think that anyone else who is, I see the chat supporting me here. Let me see here. Cashew in the chat says, I don't know if it's a Discord problem or other websites embedding problems.
It's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who.
It's valid.
Listen, I'm okay, fine.
You're valid.
I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not pointing guns. I'm not, you are.
You're pointing a gun right now.
I'm pointing the finger at big tech. This
That's
is
what
them
I'm
making
saying.
you look like a fool.
Yes.
It's intentional.
Mhm.
Hey, Silicon Valley, get your freaking shit together, okay?
Get your shit together. You guys think
Also,
you're
like-
so great? Get your memes in order.
Yeah, there's times when technology sort of blows me away, but then you watch any movie, like any sci-fi movie from like the 80s, and you're just like, how come technology isn't like as good as what we think that it's supposed to be? You know?
Well, back then it was like in movies, it was, they're uploading a computer virus, and it's just like the computer screen is just like a skull and crossbones. you
Yeah,
know?
but I'm saying like
I wanted that.
all of these like
I wanted
you-
Kaiba hacking a computer and going in the gates. Sorry,
That can
Grant.
still happen.
Continue. I cut you
But
off.
yeah, like there's that aspect where it's like, oh, you can do certain things and like everything looks this certain way, and then you use it and you're just like, everything looks like shit all the time. Nothing looks good, nothing works, everything's bad. Like, just make the thing better. Why does it not look more good?
I mean,
you
for
know?
God's sakes, the Jetsons was in 1989.
Exactly.
I'm assuming.
I don't want
Um,
that future, actually. That future
Pretty sure
looks
the Jetsons is
scary.
much older. Is it not?
It's older, but I'm maybe it takes place in 1989. Maybe it's 1992.
Oh,
but it's a
okay.
few. It's a few.
1984, perhaps even.
Oh, yeah. Talk about Orwellian. Mr. George Jetson has been locked out of his house on the treadmill outside by his wife. And he's spinning
Cancel
around
culture
it over and over
strikes again.
like a piece of laundry. You see this? Disrespectful. Anyway, my punishment, though, goes to, these fat cats in Silicon Valley. They think they got it all
Yeah.
figured out. They're saying,
Yeah.
hey, eat these scraps, Elon Musk, he's out there. He's saying, "Oh, I'm so smart. I'm so funny. I'm gonna be on freaking Saturday Night Live because I'm so smart and funny." And he can't even get his shit together. They can't even get their shit together. I just want to share pics. Okay, is that so much to ask? So my
Not at
punishment
all.
is, I mean, I don't know, just fucking. I mean, I don't.
Shoot
I don't.
Elon Musk in Roblox.
Well, I don't want to rely too much on the Roblox defense yet because
Okay.
I think there's a lot of legal, rigmarole that has to be tossed around with that yet. But I want to say that, I don't want to cut you guys off in Los Angeles or drown you guys, but I want to say, Silicon Valley, you have got me PO'd here, and I am cutting you off into the ocean.
Don't,
And you're
they don't represent me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
NorCal.
got distance.
They're in NorCal, right?
Yeah.
Northern California for the
We're in SoCal.
Well,
But no,
they're
Silicon-
in. No,
yeah.
Oh,
Silicon.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm just going to cut off NorCal. Let that little.
Oh my God, with you fucking people and your terminology.
Yeah,
I don't have time to
think-
say the whole thing.
I feel like, I'll make the blanket statement too of I don't want Elon Musk representing me in any way.
Absolutely.
I don't
not.
want Elon Musk on this planet. Fling him into the sun. He repulses me.
I'll back that.
I am wearing a Grime shirt, so I'm just gonna hold my tongue. He's got a good taste in musicians.
Ari,
you didn't like? Oh, go on.
No, I just want to ask you, man. We're here for each other in these times. I just want to ask you, what's bothering you, my man? What do you want to get off your chest?
Thank you for asking. There is a trend on Twitter that I haven't seen much of, but I think it's egregious and it must be held accountable. Have you ever been scrolling down your timeline?
Yes.
And you come across a news story
Right.
you didn't come across before. You never heard about it. Maybe something involving Elon Musk
Oh,
or
no.
a celebrity. I don't know. And then the quote tweet above it is, "I don't care." And you had never heard of this story prior to the person who's quote tweeting it and dismissing it. And I think this should be punished.
You're just gonna vague book me.
I was gonna say I think I know someone.
What are
who
you
does
talking
this.
about?
You're vague booking me to my face.
Grant, are you saying that you perform this atrocious action?
Yeah, because when they're talking about Meghan Markle is trending for the 80th time in the month of March, I don't want to see it.
And you don't care.
But you showed it to me.
I want everybody to know how little I care because it
sounds like you care.
It pops up. It
sounds like you care.
It's visible.
We got to settle this beef on this episode right now. Do you care?
It's happening. It's
No.
happening.
Why
are you showing it to me?
You looked.
I didn't. I never would have known about this had you not tweeted it.
He follows you though. He of course.
Well, yeah, that's a big mistake right there.
He wants to see your posts and your
I want to see
musings.
the Grant content.
I'm doing research for the show, right? And I go to that trending tab on Twitter. I look up and down that trending tab and I see things. I see the things that trend.
Right.
And it's all just bad. And I have to let the Twitter people know, whoever's in charge of Twitter, Elon Twitter, whatever his name, Tim Twitter,
Tim Apple,
Tim Twitter. I have to let them know, hey, this is shouldn't be. Facebook used to do the trending tab, and then they realized.
You're not saying it's bad. You're saying I don't care.
Facebook used to do the trending tab, and it got such heat that they took the trending tab away. And so what I'm saying is if we do some sort of general Twitter strike.
I thought you were going to say genocide. Thank God.
No, I wasn't going to say genocide. Who am I going to genocide in this scenario?
I don't fucking know, man.
The Twitter people?
Whoever you don't care about.
If we do enough of a general strike and enough of us say, hey, I don't care about this stuff. Stop showing me trending topics.
That's not how algorithms work, and you know it.
Why is the algorithm there in the first place? You know, you think of that.
I don't know, but you're definitely not helping it by retweeting.
I am displaying civil disobedience. Okay.
No, you are giving Elon more of a platform, and you are also
Elon Musk doesn't own
engaging in
Twitter.
the discourse by saying, "Oh, here's my projected identity. I'm someone who's too good for this."
Here's another thing.
You're playing the game and saying you're too good to play the game.
I am. And I'll tell you why. Do you remember? Early YouTube? Early YouTube didn't have this algorithm shit. You could just link to people's videos. It didn't suggest things.
Look, I'm not saying the algorithm's good.
No, I'm saying there shouldn't be an algorithm. We just get rid of the algorithm.
Great.
I'm tired of it telling me what I think should be important.
And you think that you writing "I don't care" is the answer to that? This is the solution.
I think we all need to do that.
You're full of shit. I think you've been policing the streets of Neo-Chicago too long. You're full of power.
Boycott these platforms and actively show our disdain towards them and our corporate
Are you going to get off Twitter?
No, because I'm utilizing the platform.
You're not boycotting the platform.
Affect change. I'm not saying boycott the platform. I'm saying boycott these stories.
Yada yada.
Then ignore them.
They're trying to create.
Don't quote tweet them.
They're trying to create this level upon which they control the discourse. I'm not letting them control the discourse.
Yes,
I'm
you
joining
are.
that discourse and
joining the discourse is being a part of the discourse.
No, it's not.
If I may,
It's not because I'm engaging with it,
Kevin.
but in a way that is not helpful.
This is Ari's 2 minutes of hate. This is his turn to speak. If you want to go next and maybe make the opposite point.
My 2 minutes of hate is Ari.
Oh! Oh!
Bring it.
This episode is getting heated.
I saw the long list of premeditated 2 minutes of hate, and I'm so honored that you were like, you know what? Something just became a higher priority.
I'm
Ari's
gonna
number one, baby.
I'm going to write your name into it.
He's
Vote
doing
it
it.
up.
How do you spell it?
You got it right there. A-R-I.
A-R-I.
I'm not so sure.
So wow, this is an unprecedented moment in Thought Cops.
This is a Mexican standoff. Is that racist to say Mexican standoff?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the term.
I mean,
do you just say standoff? But
yeah,
if you just say standoff, do people know what you're talking about?
I think I would know what you're talking about.
I feel like people would know. I feel like
I don't know what a Mexican
even,
standoff is.
I feel like if the justification of well, that's the term is probably is not a justification because it's well, this is.
Yeah, I feel like this is more of a standoff than it is a
familiar
Mexican
with the discourse
standoff. There's
around it.
not much of the Mexican aesthetic going on.
This is, let's just call it what it is. It's a flame war.
This is a flame war.
This is a old-fashioned flame war happening right here.
You did the wrong segment. You were supposed to do 2 minutes of hate. This is a beef before potato.
No, I mean he is allowed to say.
Yeah.
I asked him what was bothering him. He said, "Okay, I want to get this off my chest."
I got my badge right here, and I got my gun, and I'm a officer of the internet law.
All right,
and I'll shoot back.
Come in with your
You think
2
that I
minutes,
won't?
and then we'll do our punishments.
You think I won't shoot back? I got this gun.
Okay,
It's warm in my hand.
I don't think I think you were tuning me out, but I remember talking about you. We've been policing the streets of Neo Chicago too long, and now you're abusing your power. You think everyone on the internet is a sheep, and you're a wolf.
Oh, it's my downward arc into the depths
bottom
is still occurring.
It's kind of fun to watch.
You don't know how deep this goes.
So are you gonna attack me? Are you gonna?
No, I'm saying you go do your punishment.
No, this is your turn, Ari.
It's still my 2 minutes. Okay.
Yes, we have the wheel back here. We can spin it for you. We're more than happy to. I mean, I will do it. I don't think it's maybe.
I'm gonna say
appropriate
defund the thought cops.
Oh,
defund the thought cops.
What did I do? What did I do?
Yeah,
because you're complicit in this, Kevin. You know that he's putting these tweets out, and you're standing by.
Yeah, you got to reflect on the nature of the profession.
Reform might be possible.
I think
I have my doubts, but
we will. I think what he's saying is that we need a funding increase. So everybody listening, go to patreon.com/thoughtcops.
It's not what I'm saying.
We'll raise the tax because anytime anybody's like, "Oh, we'll defund the police,"
don't do that.
The police
don't
even
do
more.
That.
Look at what Chicago's doing. They just funded the police more. So actually, what you said works in our favor. So thank you for that.
Only if we're using the money to buy more body cams for Grant. That's the only thing that these Patreon monies would be.
I'll wear a body cam. I'll be one of those IRL streamers.
That's a good point because I do think that the next time that this happens, people are going to be like, oh, this is exactly when Grant he sought out Elon Musk's profile.
Mm-hmm.
Quote retweeted it and said, "I don't care," and we all see that moment. We see it clear as crystal, clear as day, and we say, well, what do the people think,
We see him in his boxer desk computer, dick in his hand. He sees the tweet. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get so many likes when I pretend I don't give a shit about Elon Musk.
It's not about the likes. It's about sending a message.
Wait, so what about the
I was going to say, you become fully Joker-fied.
I've been Joker-fied.
Yeah, what about
Remember,
what if you
switched
just
from
see
the
a
Grinch
story?
pill to the Joker pill.
I can't keep track of this anymore.
What was that, Lara?
What if you just see the story and instead of retweeting it with I don't care, you solely tweet, I don't care about X?
That's a good point. I think that's actually very healthy, Grant. I think that because you can still say I don't, and you can even asterisk
because
out some
I'm
of the letters.
utilizing the algorithm against itself. Okay?
You don't know shit about algorithms.
I am taking it.
I'm done.
Anyway, that's my 2 minutes. Let's move on.
Lara, is there anything on the internet that is bothering you? Or just in general, we're here for you.
You know what? Oh, thanks. I feel like there is like slight mention of YouTube, and it's sparked. I feel like I'm not the most like I'm in on all the stuff on the internet. Not my thing necessarily. So my complaint's really old, and I don't like YouTube algorithm, and it just pisses me off now because I used to use YouTube as like, ooh, this is a spot I can find new music from like real tiny artists and stuff because it'll take me wherever. And then instead YouTube's like, well, watch all the things everyone's watching, or do you want to watch this thing you've watched again? And I'm like, no, no, I do not. You've ruined yourself.
That is, I think actually maybe Ari and I have talked about this on the show before because, he has expressed his frustration with, wanting to get his original creation off the ground. But he's like, well, I have to do these parodies of existing, properties and things people know about so people can watch it. Because you got to fucking, and maybe Grant's onto something. We got to bomb the algorithm.
More people want to see a Super Mario 3D World parody much more than they want to see an original cartoon about an anime banana. I'll tell you that.
Perhaps you're talking about Bento Banana 1, Bento Banana 2, or Bento Banana 3.
Oh, you've heard of them.
The excellent cartoons.
Everybody should go on and put I don't care and just get it out in the world so everybody can see it, Or maybe don't say that, but just put it out there.
Here's a caveat, Ari, is that if a bunch of people went on to your video and commented, I don't care in the video, your video would shoot up to the top because it
that's my point, Grant. That's my point.
But see, my mentality though. Here, I'll let you in on my mentality.
Well, let's make it quick so we can get back to Lara's.
Oh yeah, saying that, and it fails to be seen.
We will. Yeah, let's get back to Lara's point. Then you can do your go off on Ari. But I'm
going to go off King.
I do want to say, Lara, it's true because, like you said, back in the day, what YouTube was, it was a playground for all sorts of independent content creators to get stuff out there, and you would discover all kinds of cool things. And now it's like, I've heard of carpool karaoke and I don't want to see it. And I've told you I don't want to see it, but it keeps showing up. Yeah. It's just there. And it's all these things that are funded by these large corporate, it's exactly
big TV.
Yeah. YouTube is just, because they know people are not really watching as much TV. So they're just like, we're just going to, barge in on this.
Right. And again, I feel like we've talked about this probably ad nauseum on the show, but probably not for a while. But the whole concept of the fact that what made early internet content so unique is that you couldn't find it on TV. You'd go on TV, you'd find all these established shows, all these thoroughly worn out ideas and concepts and stuff like that. And you'd go to YouTube and you'd watch people fuck around and have fun and make home videos and stuff like that. And it was fun, unique, fresh.
Yeah.
And then all of the TV fucking networks went, how do we get our hands in this? Start procuring content to watch on these platforms, and it's you've completely blindsided the authenticity of why people want to watch YouTube. They want to watch YouTube more than TV because nobody wants to fucking watch TV. And that was the point. That's what made it popular.
I want to give a shout out to newgrounds.com. Still I haven't used it too much in recent years, but I'll pop on there once in a while just to kind of see, what's going on. And I do follow a lot of animators and stuff on Twitter who publish a lot of stuff on Newgrounds, and for the by and large it hasn't really changed much, and it has kind of stayed the independent sort of
the quality has increased a ton.
And I did see there was a indie game released recently where it was some big crossover of different Newgrounds properties and some rhythm game, if I remember correctly. Somebody's going to probably correct me.
Yeah, the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Lemon Demon.
Oh, Lemon Demon! I definitely remember learning all of the lyrics to that song.
I want to know specifically, what is the algorithm on YouTube showing you now, Lara?
I'll my main complaint was more so that I used it as like for finding music, which I know is not the only thing on YouTube of everything. And
but it's
like
a great place to find music.
I would say it used to be better because it's like, like now if I listen to a song, granted, my fault sometimes if I'm like, you know what? I'll listen to this Ariana Grande song, and that it's like, do you want to listen to it in every possible way in which like
every day,
everyone's posted it? And I'm like, no, I don't. But like I used to find like really good, like just people that I would never have found. And it's like I can kind of use Spotify and whatever that way now too, but it was more fun because you're actually seeing like different artists like music videos and stuff. Like I found like a bunch of really good like queer Brooklyn rappers and stuff. Like it was like, wow, this is such a niche and I've found you all great.
Well, I think if you start with the niches, you might get more. But if you're starting with Ariana Grande, I don't know that you're going to go down that pipeline.
I won't make that claim and be like, why did you take me now to more Ariana Grande? But I'm like, I used to find like really like I'm trying to think like because it'd be someone I'd like stumble on. Like I remember I found like Dayburger on there, and then it took me to like Zebra Cats and Cakes to Kill and all these people that I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is great. And then if I go to Spotify, like I know there's songs when I've like looked on like Cakes to Killer's page, it's like, oh, you don't have some of these early things that I found.
And I do think, like, by and large, like, this is a conversation I've been having with people as of recently, where the internet, like, just the way that the different platforms are set up, like, especially even Twitter, it's not as, like, community friendly, like, as, a lot of other websites and platforms either used to be or were and are gone now. Like MySpace, back, when MySpace was a thing, like the late 2000s, that was a huge platform for people to share and discover, like, new music and local music and stuff. Like, it didn't, like, Fall Out Boy become popular from MySpace because they were a
lot of bands did.
Yeah, because I remember like they were like a local like Chicago suburb band. And, like it was just like there was that stuff you would share and it felt very much like very community driven. And we've just we've gone so far away from that, and it almost like it really kind of affects your mental state too, because it's like when it's
hard to like discover things anymore.
And also to get your shit out there too, to some extent, where it's like,
well, that's true.
You start to personalize it too. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, well, I mean, it could be a number of things. Is it me? Is it the algorithm? That's what I ask myself in the mirror.
I've started calling it the witch's curse, but I just hate saying the algorithm now. So I'm just like, the witch's curse again.
Okay. I'm going to start using that.
Yeah. I know I'm also like, it's a weird, like, my own, like, personal attachment, too. Because I feel like it's, like, fun when you're, like, hear a band, and then they get bigger, and you're like, oh, my gosh, I remember I found you, and it was exciting. And it's like, yeah, I can't do that now.
And I mean, like, it does happen, but it's like, I mean, God, I don't know what the alternative, like, is. I mean, it's like, I'm glad for, like, certain, like, bastions of, personal publishing, like whatever you want to call it, like Newgrounds and stuff like that still exist. But, the big ones we relied on, like YouTube, it's just, I mean, not the same.
There's also like, I hate to keep bringing this up, but I'll do my, contractually obligated, pitch to everyone listening to start using TikTok is that I've found a lot of like really interesting musicians through TikTok.
Really?
I talked about that one guy, Isaac Turner.
Oh, yeah.
I like sometimes you just flip through some of these things and it is like, if you're curating a certain feed of certain stuff, like every once in a while, you'll see something that's like really interesting and unique. And like people that maybe are a little more alienated from YouTube and stuff like that start to seek out these different apps because they know that like it's a little friendlier to be a musician on TikTok putting up a 20-second long thing and being like, oh yeah, by the way, I do music, I'll listen to my Spotify playlist, than like trying to force something into YouTube that like just doesn't take. Because I'm even like our fucking YouTube channel, it's just like,
can I ask you a question
push
about
and
that?
push and push, and it's just like, man.
Yeah, what we're gonna say, Ari?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I don't know how much you ascribe as a musician, but what do you think of, since TikTok is a platform that's very short, you said 20 seconds, why is it easier for a musician to be on TikTok? It sounds like it's not for that.
It's not, but I've found some really interesting and unique. I mean, like sometimes people will take a 30-second long sample of their song and just make a video saying like, I wrote this song, listen to it on Spotify. And
or
it's just
even
like,
just like them or their cat dancing. And it's funny enough that it spreads around. Enough people are just like, what's this song?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then people use it to be like, oh, by the way, also, I'm a musician. I do this, whatever, follow my page or whatever. And you do get a lot of people that start following you as a result of that.
Dudes from Chicago be like, I also have a podcast.
I've been trying to. I think we got a couple new listeners from it, but
I've streamed on Twitch before, and it's like I've had a couple people in the chat before be like, where's the dude from Chicago? I'm like, just me tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, I will say that, I'm not on Twitch much. I just don't think it's what I'm looking for in media. But
You're saying Twitch or TikTok?
Twitch. I'm not on TikTok at all, but I really respect Twitch. I think it actually feels kind of like what YouTube used to feel like. It's a little bit more the Wild West right now. I think it's going to get more conglomerate. It's going to be way more terms of service-y. But right now, it's fun. There's wild shit on Twitch.
No, I mean, honestly, I think like truly some of the funniest shit is like on Twitch, and it just like it's more of like an intimate live like recurring thing. Tune in when you can. Like
I just found Code Miko the other day. Have you guys seen that channel?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, it's so interesting and crazy. It's this like this programmer woman who like it's like a VTube channel, and she's just it feels like Space Ghost, where she's just like this weird character who either talks to the chat or interviews someone, and there's just like all these weird like pre-animated things going on in the background, and she's just like I
have heard of this or seen it.
Like, it's such an interesting idea. I'm like, this is exactly like utilizing Twitch in like this really crazy, weird, funny, cool way.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, like, I guess I guess to your point, Lara, where it's like YouTube would be perfect for all this stuff if they didn't have to fucking ruin it. So it's like you kind of have to,
but
and then you have to resort to like these other avenues where it's like you said, TikTok doesn't really seem like it's suited for music, so you have to like game the system to get it out there.
Exactly.
It's like it's just frustrating that that's what you have to do.
I'm tired of gaming things. I just want to make cool shit.
Yeah, I just want public access television.
Oh, bring that back, please! Please bring back public access.
But similar to what Ari was saying, or what you were saying about Ari, like was like the fact that even people that do certain things and have certain creative pursuits and stuff like that, like every now and then you got to just make something that's popular. I mean, even like some of my Chicago videos are just like, oh, my other comedy videos aren't doing very well. Let me do another Chicago video, and they just like do well, and it's just like all these platforms do try and pigeonhole you into one thing or another. You just have to focus on gaming the system a lot of times.
I came here to plug it, but whenever I post on social media about my podcast, it's harsh. It is a harsh ratio of interaction compared to my my other posts.
It's believe me,
I get it. I'm not offended. I'm just it's just like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sleep Science in the chat says, like, it blows my mind that a band like Bomb the Music Industry somehow got a fan base just releasing music online for free on their own websites and not on any platform. Yeah, they're awesome. And I think that's like great. I mean, that was, again, a different time. Like he said, they were able to use their own website. Remember a website, not social media? You didn't have to have a fucking brand. Yeah. And like that was, I mean, again, like, I really do think that we have to, you bring up the Wild West, Ari. We have to really, if you want to get yourself out there, you really have to harness your inner cowboy or cowgirl, as it were, because you have to get out there. You have to like find that new pasture, that new ground that hasn't been tapped into yet. Like Lara, YouTube is done. That is, I mean, like we're still going to put shit on there. There's still shit on there that I like, but it is not what it once was in the way that it, could be and should be. But you have to like, find, tap into this other ground, Twitch or TikTok or whatever the hell else there is. You have to, it's manifest destiny. You have to search for it and make it happen. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the ass, but there's a cowboy in all of us. I truly do believe that.
That should be a book you write someday.
You've got a friend in me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Grant, did you want to?
That took me too long to understand why you said that.
You just totally forgot about that.
Oh,
yeah.
cowboy.
Laura, did you have a punishment for that though? Before we get to me?
Oh, that's that. I get determine a punishment as well.
Whatever you want to do.
We can also spin the wheel for you if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
Kevin really wants to spin the wheel, but whatever you want to do, it's your 2 minutes.
No, do the wheel. I feel weird embracing a corrupt justice system. Yeah, I feel less responsible.
And I'm right there with you. Leave it up
Let
to chance.
fate decide. Yeah.
Flip the script. Okay. This is interesting. I think that, in that same regard, we said that YouTube has become just TV. I think we already said it best. Bring back public access, television. Like, make TV the new Wild West.
Right.
That's going to be like, I remember some of the best times I remember from high school was like working in the public access, the local public access station, like filming dumb shit for like a class.
Yeah.
And that I remember it was like just so fun, and going like bring that back, let's just, tap into those roots again, flip the script. If all YouTube wants to be is, fucking carpool karaoke, then we're going to take over TV if they're too busy on YouTube. So
I love that idea.
Again,
there you go.
Harness, you're in a cowboy. Grant.
All right.
Want to turn the mood back to like sort of a negative?
My 2 minutes of hate. I've waited a long time for this. Okay. I've been preparing mentally. I've been doing mental push-ups, mental jumping jacks.
I could tell.
I've waited and anticipated for my turn finally.
This is about to be a big brain 2 minutes, I can tell.
This week on Thought Cops. My 2 minutes of hate is, and then I'm like, my mouth isn't matching up with what I'm saying. My 2 minutes of hate, I don't go on Facebook that often, but I was scrolling through Facebook, and I know Donovan was talking last week about like people who are like crypto evangelists. I found a person on Facebook that was the opposite. He made a status saying, "Stay away from cryptocurrency as long as we can." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird."
Okay.
So I was scrolling because I'm like, "Is this like is it an environmental thing? Like, is it like the NFT thing where it's like, well, Bitcoin uses up so much energy, or is it like there's also the conceptualization of a lot of things like Bitcoin were presented in sort of like a libertarian-esque sort of framework of like, oh, we have to get away from fiat currency, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, is it some sort of social critique? So I click and I'm scrolling through and I'm reading these comments that people are leaving. And the guy just says, one world currency, no good. What does that mean?
Just keeping it short.
One world currency.
Just like that's what you're...
I did not see that coming.
I didn't see it coming either, and it baffles me.
Is he saying that there should be more than one?
I guess. I don't know.
That was his issue with this? It wasn't like you said the environmental impact or anything else?
And then someone says, I'm still waiting for all paper currency to flop because it's literal paper and not a precious metal. And then he says, I agree with that. And I'm like,
don't read the comments on anything.
That's just
ever.
like the value of... And so my whole... I guess my 2 minutes of hate, more broadly speaking, and then there's a guy underneath that's like talking about blah, 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 and, actually digital currency is much safer than fiat, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? But my whole thing is that I don't think that people like care to think about what they talk about anymore. I just don't think people... You can just say anything. You can just say anything nowadays. You can just be like, this is bad. Why? I don't know. Like, is there a reason for it? Like I was saying about the NFTs, a lot of people are like, that takes up a severe amount of electricity to create one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't care.
No, I don't care. And like, then you read comments from these people and they're just like, oh yeah, it's like, where do you think the value in money comes from? Like, if it's gold, like if you have a bar of gold and you're like, this is much more valuable than paper currency, It's like, well, why? Because somebody put value on that. Like, because we ascribed a number to the piece of gold. We ascribed number to the Bitcoin. Like, what is anybody talking about? At the very least, some of these Bitcoin enthusiast people that are like all fucking nerdy about it, like know what they're talking about. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you get people that are like diluting the discourse by not even talking about anything having to do with anything that anybody even thinks about or talks about in a way that's even like constructive in the basic sense of the word.
If I may narrow this down, you prefer if they would just say they don't care.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Honestly.
I don't care about Bitcoin. I don't care.
Yeah, maybe like retweet an article about it and say, fuck this.
See?
I don't care.
Okay. That's a good...
We're gassing them up, goddamn.
That's a good way to present this, is to like present an article and to make your case, to state your case based on other people. Because what is an opinion? An opinion is,
You know what they say about opinions? You make an ass out of you and me.
They do say that. And it's like, so stop showing us your ass.
Wait, so, okay. Wait, so what's like... either, I guess, like more, what's the infuriation level then? Is it that there's just not like evidence presented with them saying this, and at the very least you just want an article, just someone else saying something about it and them being like, this is useless, rather than them being like...
I want people to think.
Yeah,
I want them to engage.
Sleep Science is on your side here, Grant. He says, sounds like he read into it and gave them a chance to clarify their positions, and they didn't. They're just tweeting vague stances.
Well, it was on Facebook, so they were Facebooking vague stances. Vague booking, perhaps.
If you will.
Here's my theory. Like, this is just a projection, maybe not even what happened at all, but my theory is that someone else who this dude appreciates, and some other big thought leader on Joe Rogan podcast or something talked about this.
Right.
He didn't really digest it intellectually, but he was like, yeah. And so he just sort of like barfed it unprocessed into Facebook. And when someone asked him to be like, can you unpack this?
Nobody was asking him to unpack. People were just like throwing their own stupid opinions into the fire, and it just became a big stupid bonfire of a bunch of people conjecturing about things that they don't fucking even care to read about. Like, just post a single article. It can be from Breitbart. At least that's a website.
You're
At least
really
that's a
just
place.
Destroying the internet here. You're just like, I hate the algorithm, but build it up. Give attention.
It's all bad. Like, because at least
go ahead and share hate. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Again, defund the thought cops.
Because at the very least, if you engage with it on that level, somebody can go, "Hey, don't like link to Breitbart," or like, "Don't." Did you actually read the stuff? Like, then you can have a dialogue. Then you can have a discourse of the facts. Instead, people are just like, here's my shitty opinion. And it's like, this is based in nothing. Nothing that anybody's talking about in this entire conversation is based in anything about anything.
I feel like there's a macro problem you're explaining here, which is that everybody is saying what their opinion is about everything at all times when there's no reason to. Do you agree?
Kind of. Here's if I were to formulate this into, some form of a formula, perhaps, as one might say. If I were to formulate this
maybe
into
an algorithm
formula,
of some kind.
No, not an algorithm. Wrong word.
A witch's curse, as it were.
Yeah. A witch's brew, perhaps. If I formulate this into a witch's brew, it's that, like, how come people don't just, like, ask questions anymore? You know what I mean? Like,
people tell them to go Google it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, from not just from like a, hey, I don't like, because I talked about, people parading around their stupidity and whatnot, right? Not from that point of view, but just like, hey, this Bitcoin thing sure is weird. Should we all be using the same, like, currency, Or like, hey, why do we use paper? Like, because then people can go, hey, like, I studied economics. Here's an article you can read, and you can go, oh, okay, I learned about this. Instead of like, just here, throw this out, just throw everything at the dartboard and see if like maybe something sticks and maybe you'll be right. Maybe just be like, hey, I don't really know why don't we use gold to back our currency anymore? And then somebody can answer. And then
why don't we use the giant golden rings from Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's an even better question.
You know, a sign of value to them.
Right.
They look valuable. Actually.
They do. And you do not want to lose those. Trust me.
No.
Grant, if you could just punish this, like let's just, wrap this puppy up.
My punishment is that I'm going to retweet everything on Ari's Twitter and say that I don't care about any of it.
I was waiting to see
I
how
don't
that
care about anything that he says. Everything he says, I don't care about it anymore.
You know, honestly, please do that.
He does secretly.
Because it will help me. More people will see it.
But
I'll put my art out there. You'll write, I don't care, and they'll be like, I think it's a cool looking slowpoke.
I think a lot of people will visibly see that you will be a person that complacency as a response to you is an acceptable behavioral pattern, and other people will pick up on it, and also probably they too won't care.
And
Wait,
they'll
the
tweet about it.
complacency is an acceptable behavior towards
you.
That's
heard
good, right?
you heard all of
right?
the words that I said in the order that I said them in.
Okay.
So we play that back. No, I'm just kidding. We do have to move on, though. If you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often unusual punishment.
You slipped up and you said snooze stories. You want people to go to sleep during this
that
segment?
was intentional, because the news puts me to sleep these days. It's so boring.
All right. Speaking of news.
Speaking of snooze, wake the fuck up. Now, speaking of news, I think that this story is very funny. So, for a long time, and I don't typically like to attribute a lot of importance to critic reviews and everything. I don't really care. But on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, people's, I guess it's, I don't know, something of a gold standard for movie reviews and some, critic score versus audience score.
All I ever see is people complaining about Rotten Tomatoes. Anytime Rotten Tomatoes comes up, it's so that people can be like, what, Rotten Tomatoes is wrong. And it's just stop using the site.
That's about to happen again. So, for a long time, Citizen Kane was the number one top-rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes. It was rated 100% fresh. Okay? Perfect scores. Nothing less. So somebody, because, Citizen Kane is like the cliche, like the movie you learn about in film class. It's like, oh, this is the greatest movie of all time.
It's consistently rated number one on the American film industry's top 100 list.
Yes. So somebody went and dug up a review from Wednesday, May 7th, 1941 from the Chicago Daily Tribune. Before it was
God damn it.
Before it was called Neo Chicago. And it was this review comes to us from a reviewer by the name of Matinee. Interesting.
I don't know if I buy this guy's identity.
And the review is titled Citizen Kane Fails to Impress Critic as Greatest Ever Filmed. So he kind of goes on, or he, she, I don't know who this, I don't know, whatever this person is.
Matt.
It's May I don't know. Obviously, it's not their real name. So they basically didn't like the movie, and it was enough that this was a legitimate source for a critic review of Rotten Tomatoes of Citizen Kane. So that was, it's officially in their database, as of March, I said that review came to us from May 7th, 1941. As of March 2nd, 2021, it is in the official critic category for Rotten Tomatoes Citizen Kane reviews, listed as a top critic for the Chicago Tribune. And it puts it down to a 99% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Before we get too further into that, so I just realized Citizen Kane also came out in 1941. The review came out in 1941. The alleged pushback was that the guy said, people are calling this the greatest film ever made. And I'm not really so impressed by it. I understand that because that's fresh off the press. and like they just make this movie, they just put it out, and everyone immediately, like, we've had what, like, fucking, I can't do math, 80 years to fucking sit on Citizen Kane and be like, of course, it's high art, it's the best, it's the greatest film ever made. This film comes out like 2 weeks, and this guy sees the movie and he's like, yeah, it's fine, I guess.
Okay, but counterpoint. How often when you see a trailer for any movie during like its commercial run, they say, you know, Suicide Squad is the #1 movie in America. People are probably just saying that anyway because they always say that about every movie that's out.
And there's one brave reviewer said, And
I applaud Matt Tenay.
And listen, that was enough to bring Citizen Kane from the #1 spot to the #2 spot. So now the #1 top-rated movie on RottenTomatoes.com is, drumroll please, Paddington 2.
Well deserved.
Which, again, I hear the Paddington movies are pretty good. I have not personally sought them out. Maybe I will now. You know, this is going to change the way that
no business being as good as they are.
Oh, they're
it's going to
so
change
good.
the way the intro to film is taught. You know,
Yeah.
we're going to be like, you know, you're like, don't watch Citizen Kane. Check out Paddington 2. Skip the first one.
Yeah.
So-
I would say, you know what? It does make a valid, it's a strong movie when it also makes the case as like, you know what? That sequel was even better than the first one. And the first one's good.
Yeah, people can no longer say the sequels are never as good. So it'll be like the #1 movie ever made is a sequel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the only I do have a punishment which I'll get to maybe fix the problem, if you can call it that. But yeah, I mean, like, again, people are finding this as a reason to complain about Rotten Tomatoes again. You know, oh, wow, that shouldn't be the #1 movie. You know what? You know, all these like snobs and everything who are saying that this is a, you know, who fucking cares? Again, hey, I might just go ahead and retweet it and say I don't care.
Yeah, show your disdain for them by just refusing to engage,
or maybe I just won't engage.
That is,
you know?
No, because then if you don't engage, then you're allowing everybody else
there's
their
a metric
level of
in
engagement.
Twitter called engagement, and your tweets are in that data.
Yeah, but the engagement from the point of view of the opinionated people is overtaking that of people that have, you know, more differently articulated points of view. And if you say, hey, I'm not gonna allow all these people with their opinions to take over this algorithm, I'm going to performatively say no to all of it.
How about this? I'm just going to go talk behind their back on my podcast. Not going to feed the algorithm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's done. Some real cowboy shit. Pew-pew!
That's what I'm saying. So, again, this is, you know, Paddington 2 is officially, you know, objectively a better film than Citizen Kane. Yes, objectively. I said
objectively. Science.
it's official, it says here.
There's metrics and math. It's backed by science.
So I think, you know, if people are really this upset about this, if, you know, this is really causing a stir in the film community, as it were, I think, you know, you said, Ari, that a sequel, this is now proven that a sequel can be great, a truly great movie, if not the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
What better way to come back at Paddington 2 than with Citizen Kane 2? You know what I'm saying? If Paddington 2 is better than Paddington 1, I mean, Citizen Kane 2 is going to be a whole lot better than Citizen Kane 1.
Yeah, there's not a day not a day goes by that I don't hear someone I know being like, "Oh, I wish they'd just make a sequel for Citizen Kane already. I want it so bad."
Seriously. What's Rosebud?
Interesting piece of history is that Orson Welles' second film apparently was arguably better than Citizen Kane, and there's like a weird whole history about how he had his like director's cut of it, and then because they weren't like as good of like saving backups and stuff like that, they like cut it down to feature length, and then like got rid of all of his edits and stuff like that, and ended up being like a not as good of a movie. But there's like not as a spiritual sequel of sorts. The spiritual sequel to Citizen Kane.
So let me get this
apparently
straight.
was
It's
better than
Paper
Citizen
Mario
Kane.
to Super Mario RPG is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna get a little Asterios-esque joke in here. It just came to mind. an homage to Asterios.
Back away from the microphone before you start screaming.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Orson Welles? More like Snorson Welles? That movie's so long. Have you seen it?
I feel like
Love you, Asterios.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, I think it's missing like a shocking like fat joke in there somewhere. We're like, oh,
I
feel like
it's an attempt. He's the king. This is just me paying a tribute. It's not the real thing.
Asterios, if you're out there, leave us a voicemail for the next episode. Tell us what you thought.
Yeah,
we're dying here.
You can shun me for that.
Asterios, who just watched Shrek for the very first time last night.
Oh, he popped a Shrek cherry.
Yeah, finally,
It's all ogre now.
So let's move on here to another topic. Grant, what the hell? I'm looking at this on the dock, the second one here.
Can we just talk about the Oscars since we're already talking about movies?
Movies.
Yeah.
So the Oscars
I didn't watch
happened.
them.
We're talking to two people in freaking Tinseltown over here.
Did Laura, did you watch them? Do we have one person on this show? So
I fucking watched them. I'm telling you, I never fucking watched them, and I did this year.
Can you give us some sort of rundown? Anything interesting happened?
And real quick, I just want to say that we've been doing this show. This is the fourth Oscars in a row we've covered on Thought Cops. For God's sake, someone who's finally been on the show who's watched it.
You're the first person on the show that's actually watched the Oscars that we can actually derive information from you.
Wow.
As a result, because we just
also
Google
the
things.
least likely time that someone you have on the show would have seen the Oscars.
Very true. I can say you would have been much better off watching Shrek. Okay, that would have delivered. You would have been like, this was satisfying to watch. This is great. But
that's every year.
Yeah.
So.
I would say you missed nothing. You really missed nothing. I think probably most of the people there were bored. It's like anything. Like, it's got to be so weird because it's during COVID on top of
Did you watch it out of like a morbid curiosity where you're like, what? There weren't a whole lot of movies that came out this year. I want to see what it's going to be, kind of thing.
It's so stupid because I didn't even know what was going to be nominated. I had not seen anything. Really? I've watched My Octopus Teacher, and I think that might have been the only movie that I've seen. I
saw that. Borat.
Oh, yeah. I guess I saw Borat, too.
Borat!
Tenet.
Oh, that was this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Borat win anything?
Not that I can remember. I didn't even know it was nominated for stuff until I was, watching. But
simply had to be there to exist. That's it.
Well, there's a couple different controversies because you can't exist in modern society nowadays without the whole Twitter algorithm telling you what to think and you taking a stand against that.
Let's not bring up old shit, Grant.
The whole everything's in the past. So we have to talk about things that I can't talk about.
What does that mean?
Things that haven't happened I can't talk about. The whole show is based on things that have happened in the past.
Well, he's referring specifically to your beef from 20 minutes ago.
I'm broadening the scope of what he wasn't talking about. Anyway, so there's like a couple things specifically. I guess they really sort of played up like Chadwick Boseman's death. Again, I haven't seen it, but apparently everything was like pictures and images of him and everything. He was up for Best Actor. I think that before I get into that, they gave everyone who attended the Oscars an NFT of Chadwick Boseman's head, which was apparently a stolen design.
Oh my God.
And again, tone deaf because there's a big controversy with the NFTs.
I mean, in every possible way.
And it's bad.
It also looks bad.
It looks bad.
I saw the NFT. And if he didn't even make the head, just spray painted it gold and put on a crappy background, it's pretty. It's just there's a lot of layers of upsetting going on.
So
here.
they gave that to everyone who attended the Oscars or everybody who was up for whatever award. They made the whole night about him. They even apparently saved, instead of ending the night with best instead of ending the night with Best Picture, they ended the night with Best Actor, and he was up for it. But he didn't win it.
Oh, that is weird.
Okay.
That's really weird.
This is so uncomfortable to even hear about.
Yeah, because I can't say I paid super strong attention while watching it, but I did at least notice. I was like, this is weird. They didn't end with Best Picture. And so that's why.
Right.
Okay.
Strange.
Yeah.
They ended with Best Actor because they're like, well,
why did they end on that if he wasn't
I think because they wanted to end the night with he wins Best Actor, but they didn't vote that way.
No, and the person who won was Anthony Hopkins, and he wasn't even there. And they were like, "Okay, we accept this on his behalf."
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to.
I would have felt so
awkward
if I was Anthony Hopkins.
Seriously.
Well, and I guess he wanted to like do like a remote whatever because Anthony Hopkins is like 112 years old. Like, he shouldn't be going to the Oscars. And he's like, oh, I'll just do my award speech, like, from a Zoom call or whatever. And they were like, no.
And at this point in his career, what does this dog and pony show even mean to him?
Right. I don't know.
Honestly, at some point, or the Oscar, like the awards, the trophies themselves, are they just going to be NFTs?
Yeah, I could see that. I laugh, but I'm like, yeah, exactly. I can see that.
NFTs are such cringe, man. It's cringe. It's pure distilled cringe.
And now I'm also reading here, too, that the Oscar, this is like their ratings dropped over 50% this year.
Yeah. Here's an interesting chart by...
oh, my God.
Yeah. Viewership through the years. 2014, 43 million viewers. Skip down a little, 2016, 34 million viewers, 2018, 26 million viewers, 2020, 23 million viewers, 2021, 9.8 million viewers.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about this shit. Everyone's going on Twitter.
My Mario Kart has more numbers than that.
How's it feel? How's it feel?
You're more relevant.
Feels good, man.
Yeah. Ironically, the reason and I ended up watching it is because I'm at a house right now in which we have like live TV. Like we actually there's like analog.
You got commercials and news.
And we were like, oh fuck it, we got it. I guess we might as well because normally I never do. And you know what? It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sometimes you miss the comfort, but then you remember like how much it just kind of sucks.
Yeah, so it's like, well, the Oscars are here. I guess we can watch it.
Somebody had to watch it, you know.
Adult Swim knows how to make their broadcast channel feel like you're in a different experience than being online.
I would agree. Yeah.
It's also just like one of those things too, where it's like, do we really need more? Like at this point in time where people are dying from fucking COVID and nobody has health care and everyone's poor and everybody's facing evictions, do we really need to watch more TV shows of millionaires patting themselves on the back?
No, that's why I think it's half the ratings this time. I think everyone's just like, man, fuck you guys.
And
I did like say that at my TV at times.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, fuck you guys.
And there's this tone deafness to like we've talked about, I think the concept of the differences between like appropriation and like representation, and how like there's this big push, especially in Hollywood, to like be more representative and stuff like that. And I think that like a lot of that's good, but it's also like at the point of like it's the fucking multi-billion-dollar film industry that's pushing for these, like, you know, for this representation. And not that you would ever sort of like want to fight against that, because I think that people that do are scumbags, but it's like so that they can like sell you more shit all the time. And it just, I think that rubs people the wrong way to constantly be like, oh, we're more diverse than ever. And it's like, you just want people to watch the Oscars more. And I think that like more people, you know, I think more diversity within the film industry is good and should be promoted to the highest extent as possible. But there is like a griminess to it too, where it's just like, yeah, just millionaires patting each other on the back all the time, where, well, everybody fucking starves.
But you don't care, you're saying. Or what
No,
you would
I
say,
do care
what you
about
would say
this.
on Twitter, though.
I would no, because I would say that about things that have no relevance and don't matter. But obviously, like, I do care about the concept of like diversity in media and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
do
just
like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Yeah, you just don't care enough that like you're like, well, you know, like Bitcoin and all these things, they're gonna like destroy the world in which we live on, in which we hope to have diversity. But it's like, I don't care if that world's destroyed.
Yeah.
No, why are people putting what I do and don't care in my mouth? I'm telling
That's true.
everybody what I care.
I don't have the sources in front of me of what Grant has said he doesn't care about. Although,
dude, it's dumb
Yeah, never
shit.
mind.
Okay, you have to admit that. Like that's
It's true.
That's
It's true.
why
It
bothered
usually
you
is
that I'm retweeting really dumb shit to say this is dumb.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that point. What he is talking about usually is just like pop buzz news. It's
the
nothing
royal
actual
family
of substance. Exactly, stuff like that.
Meghan Markle strikes a $50 million Netflix deal. Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, but don't put that in your own private folder called "Don't Care." Don't broadcast it. Is my
No,
point.
everybody needs to know.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we're in some sort of weird paradigm shift in a lot of ways because, like you said, Grant, people, it is kind of tone deaf and weird because it's a lot of rich people patting themselves on the back. And also, like, a lot of people weren't watching because there wasn't a lot of movies, and we feel sort of betrayed and hurt by a lot of these rich people who are patting themselves on the back.
And then it's always one of those things where it's like everybody is always disappointed with the results all the time. It's another thing like Rotten Tomatoes where it's like, at what point is some of the shit just agitprop because fucking, oh, you do this, now people are looking at Rotten Tomatoes because fucking, oh, look at this controversy. Oh, now people are talking about the Oscars because, oh, blah, blah, blah didn't win Best Picture. And it's just like, when can we as a society just say that there's no like real measurable standard for like how people consume media and like what some people like will not be what everybody likes?
I mean, we know the
like,
truth. Paddington 2 is the best film there ever was and ever will be. You know, I mean, there's no point in having any more award ceremonies.
Right.
That will
never mind.
Never happen, Grant, because I'm too tired to go into it.
Because we like lists, we like numbers, we like to quantify things, and we like to say this one's number one. These ones couldn't possibly be number one. This one, though, this one's number one. And if you disagree with me when I say that, and it's fine if you like that one better and if I like this one better, but I'm just telling you from like the point of view of authority that this one is better. You can like your dog shit like however fucking much you want to fucking shovel that in your face, but like this one is truly the standard.
Okay, wait. So tell me this. Is per se the Oscars not what you want for that Facebook feed in which people are like, I don't care, I don't like this, and you're like, well, where's the backup? Like, where, what's your knowledge? Where's the critical thinking? But in turn, then, is the Oscars then giving you that? Because they're like, well, this one's the best movie, or I don't care about this one. And because they're like, because see, it wasn't even nominated, or because see, it won. Uh-oh.
No, because that's all just opinions. I mean,
but they have sources,
but
Grant.
Is
they
it,
have sources
critical,
at least.
quote
Everyone's
unquote.
a critic.
Yeah, you can talk about that, but that's not a proper use of a source. Like what I'm talking about with economics, for instance, let me educate everybody here. What I'm talking about with economics, for instance, is like
News.
people there are theories to explain like why we use and don't use certain things for currency. Whereas like the Oscars is like 6 people in a room that are just like, yeah, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck those people.
Yeah. Oh, I got to have lunch with the main actor, and it was fun. Sure, I'll vote for that.
Yeah,
it's like that superficial.
Yeah, it's just a big fucking nepotistic orgy, and it's disgusting.
But I would say, like, in a way, people do like having these conversations about things they like, what's the best, what's the worst. I mean, whether it's, the Oscars or it's like some guy on YouTube is doing a video, I say, of like top 10 like anime fights, it's like,
right.
Yeah, they're just fucking opinions, but it's like they get views and people are talking and people are having like, they're just...
Here, I have a reformation to the system of the Oscars. Okay.
Is this the punishment?
This is the punishment, and I think this will be good. One, we become the hosts. Okay, that's how we start.
Love that.
We become the hosts. Okay,
That'll be
because
interesting.
like Jordan Peterson says about communism, everybody that's a communist thinks that they can do better than what happened in the past. But why do you think you could do better in a position of power? We can do better in a position of power. First of all. Second of all, we get rid of what's the best. Who cares about what's the best? Everything that's bad, we burn it. Everything that's good, we put on a big library shelf.
Oh, no.
And we sort of confusedly explain which shelf it goes on, like maybe top shelf, middle shelf, bottom shelf. And things that are sort of like we're complacent about, we put that.
It's just your Twitch stream where you guys rank things.
This is Grant's actually just plugging our Patreon, which is I'm fine with that. He's our spin-off show Fire Bros.
New episode of Fire Bros will be out soon. This is the basic premise of Fire Bros.
Yeah.
If you go to patreon.com/thoughtcops and you donate to that $2 tier, you get to hear us do that exact thing for movies.
I really like how this whole rather thoughtful conversation and debate really just turned into like a plug for self-promotion.
Hey, that's
the
capitalism.
Oscars, man.
Mhm.
Oh,
that's capitalism.
beat me
Full
to it.
Oscars fashion.
That is true. I mean, can't beat him, join him.
You got to monetize everything. There's no authentic feelings. Those don't exist. You monetize your authentic feelings and make money off of it. And the more money you make, the more good of a person you are. It's like Steven Crowder said, you don't want some poor person building a bridge or an airplane.
You're doing it again. You're doing real life algorithm.
You also, Grant, I know when you're being sarcastic, but you need to emote more. Because that's happened before where all of us in a room didn't know you were being sarcastic.
Or it's like Ben Shapiro said just the other day. He said actually we should raise taxes on poor people.
Yeah,
probably. So
yeah, he said that.
He did say that. So
I don't know who that is. How about that? Ignorance is bliss, just like they said in The Matrix, which is what it all ties back to. Let's move on to Key to the City, though. Something nice, something swell, something great.
Yeah.
I want to give this week's my key to the city this week goes to the Shruggernaut on Twitter.
Oh,
this is hilarious. So the Shruggernaut's one of our listeners. He responded to.
He's also one of our only YouTube commenters,
and God bless him. So he responded to a viral post here about this article that went around called "My 9-Year-Old is a Bit of a Mansplainer."
Oh.
And he responded with a thoughtful response about how just to sort of qualify and what you're saying and be just be clear what you're saying. And he responded to it with, "This is blowing up for me. Listen to @ThoughtCops."
That's the way to do it.
And I'm like, that is some fucking king shit.
Right.
Hell yeah. This guy's out here and he's fucking doing the work for us. He's out there being a thoughtful person and saying, "Hey, go check out this thing that other people do."
Also, great username.
The Shrugger. And I know. Yes. So it's the _Shruggers. Thank you. Ari, did you have something good for us this week? Key to the City?
Yeah, I'm going to do something a little unconventional, which is just that last time I was on, I think I responded to some voicemail in a way that didn't sit right with me since then. Okay. Where, what happened? Someone came on with 2 minutes of hate about their friends being normies. And
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, it was funny, and I was kind of peeved by it, but I really don't like the way I reacted to that recording. So if that listener is still around, I just want to say I'm sorry.
He is, yes, he's in the chat.
Oh,
right
cool. Now. Oh yeah. I was lame, and you're cool, and I hope things are going well for you.
Okay, well that's very cool, man. I'm glad we've never had. You said it's unprecedented, but much appreciated.
I think so.
Much appreciated.
Was that IONet runner that?
Yes.
He says he says I'm not cool, but apology accepted.
Nice.
IONet runner, shut up. You're cool. Okay.
Good.
Everybody here's cool. We're all cool. Okay.
The Shruggernaut, you're cool too.
Yeah.
Maybe the freaking key to the city, for God's sakes.
He's the Shruggernaut, bitch.
So would you say you're giving your key to the city, the IONet runner?
Yeah, IONet runner gets my key to the city.
Wow. Very nice. Lara, anything nice, cool, swell, great, hip, nice, something you want to give us, key to the city, you want to bring attention to?
Oh my gosh, I was not ready for
if
this.
You want some more, if you wanted some more time to think about it,
I can go. Basically, just anything online, like a YouTube channel, a music you saw, a movie you like, anything.
Doesn't even have to be online. Somebody, I remember, came on the show once and gave it to this cat that kept showing up in their alley. So
yeah.
Oh, nice.
One person gave it to their landlord one time.
Okay. Whatever the hell you want.
My key to the city goes to this is some we talked last week about dudes posting their W's. This is a major W. Japanese man arrested after dating more than 35 women at once to get birthday gifts.
I think the funniest part about this is that that's an arrestable offense.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the underlying story here that is very interesting is that this man was somehow dating 35, just pulled that off. There's people that have one affair and can't pull that off. They get found out immediately. This guy was dating 35 women.
He's got 35 gumas.
And told all of them, hey, my birthday is April 12th. Hey, my birthday is March 14th. Hey, my birthday is June. And he just had a rotating cycle of just birthday gifts. He wasn't stealing money. He wasn't
he's stealing time from all these people.
He's stealing time, but for birthday gifts, for packaged, wrapped, bowed birthday gifts with a card.
I was going to ask if he just timed it all around video games that were releasing that he wanted. Oh, yeah, there's some PS4 game coming out. I'm going to tell this one lady that my birthday's next month. I really want it.
Here's how I'm thinking it. Either on a shell level, he just wanted a lot of stuff and to be with these ladies, or he has this very repressed childhood where he never got a birthday. And so these are all mother figures to him. And he's like, I want all the birthdays.
Oh, wow.
Make up for the 35 years I never had a birthday.
Yeah, how did he get found out?
I'll get to that in a second. IONet Runner in the chat says, met his victims while working as a shower head salesman. So that's how he gets it done.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
There's
probably a lot of pickup lines you can use while showing someone a shower.
Yeah, I mean,
he probably got found out in the same way. What's that movie that's John Tucker Must Die, where he's dating 4 women?
I think it's called John Tucker Must Die.
Yeah, that movie. He's dating 4 women and they all find out and then they plot to kill him or something. I only saw a preview for it and I was like, huh.
Yeah,
I like the Japanese remake better.
Yeah.
I saw it, but my memory is of a trailer. So I basically just saw a trailer at this point.
It's
elaborate, Laura?
Yeah.
I want to remember.
Yeah, it's the three women playing high school students.
As always.
So 3 students and then a 4th student, is another girl, and the 3 all realize that they've been 2-timed by John Tucker, and then they use her to then fake date him, and that they'll be we're gonna crush him and destroy his heart.
So they did that. All 35 women recreated that movie. Sleep Science in the chat says that they don't try to kill him, they just try to humiliate him.
Yeah.
The title's not literal. Man, what did you think that it was? What's the matter with you?
I remember, even as a kid being oh, that was dumb. What? Does the girl end up falling for him? I don't remember why I thought it was dumb. I just remember thinking it was a not the right way to go. Where does that movie head?
I can't remember exactly. I think she falls for his brother. I think that's who the other character is, who's nerdy and totally not like him.
We should watch that movie again. It'd be fun.
Who is in there? Oh, I can. Brittany Snow, Sophia.
Well, I don't.
I can't remember the woman from
podcast.
One Tree Hill, Ashanti, and then another girl.
Tight.
And whoever plays John Tucker.
Speaking of all of that, Laura, did you have a key to the city?
The laziest segue of all time.
Whatever.
It's late.
I don't care.
We've been at this for a while.
Speaking of whatever,
Speaking of I don't care.
Oh man.
Lara, yes. Anything positive, just anything radiating some goodness.
Yeah, you know what?
We need it.
I'll make it real niche. I'll put it out to my roommate recently discovered 3 snails that were really suffering. And, they were very dehydrated and such. And in some like bucket that we had outside that we were eventually going to plant stuff in, and she has taken them in, and they are now our house snails. They have the ultimate life. They are living it up in a really nice terrarium now and have grown significally because they are eating well.
Wow.
No, I love this story.
Do snails actually meow?
Oh, if only. Like Gary. SpongeBob.
Again, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Slow to the draw once
For
more.
a cartoonist, you're a little behind on your cartoon
I'm
knowledge.
usually the most apt. I'm like, oh, we get a cartoon? But like today,
I think because I drop these references like I'm legitimately like adding to the conversation, and I'm not. I'm just throwing it off.
You're just curious.
Yeah.
Like, what noise do they make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a little inkling of the just niceties and kindness and helping the world.
I am not running the chat says snail or alley snails just as good as alley cats.
Oh, nice. You know what? I go back and forth of them sometimes like really disgusting me and other times being fascinated by them because they have like a weird mouth setup. Like I've never seen a snail so in
like
depth.
those like antenna kind of
thing. And like one of them, so there's 3 of them. I like the smallest one, in which we refer to as the baby, is like they have a little, essentially like water dish. There was one day it was straight up just sat in the water dish, flopped itself over on the side, and was just like gnawing on a green bean, and was just in the ultimate like, this is what I want. I want to soak in some water and just flop over and just eat. And I'm like, you know what? I can respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't ask for more myself.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Do you look at them as like spiritual teachers and like, oh, I could be more like this. I could afford to just like take some time, just munch on a leaf and not think so much.
Maybe I'll like subconsciously soak it in, and they'll be inspiring.
Yes, I do that with my cat sometimes. I'm like, you get it.
Yeah,
you know how to live.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they have the best life now.
And again, I couldn't be more jealous. But let's move on to our Thought Cops word of the week, which Grant, you got something interesting here.
I got something interesting here. There's a Twitter account called Gen Z Moments, and it just tweets out all sorts of garbage that no one should ever look at. And so I saw this and I screenshotted it, and I was like, I got to bring this in for the word of the week. So this is actually 2 words of the week. So you can be enlightened from both words and how to use or misuse both words. This Thought Cop's word of the week is Barlow. It's a new sexuality that just dropped. Barlow is when you are sexually attracted to bees. Yes, it is real. The slur against these people is Kane, K-A-A-N. Please don't say it if you're not Barlow.
Are you sure this is like real? Like they're
I
being
don't know.
sincere?
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm seeing this as a screenshot from TikTok. I mean, is this sort of like, I don't know. I don't know if this is how people act on there. You know,
Listen. I saw the picture and I was like, it got to it. Thousands of retweets, just thousands.
Do you think this was a response to B Movie?
Well, B Movie, what came out in like 2008?
I still need to see it. You know what? It's on it's got to be on some streaming service. So like,
yeah, I mean,
popping up again.
I was at my parents' somewhat recently, and it happened to be on TV in the background, and I'm just like, this is just such a weird movie that exists. Just like Jerry Seinfeld flying around. It's like, what the like?
I'm a bee.
Yeah, it's truly weird. And I mean, I can't blame you if you're turned on by that. So I mean,
I saw that movie in theaters when it came out, and I went in with like not high expectations, but I didn't expect to be like mind fucked by how weird that movie was.
I don't want to spoil it. I have not seen it, but I don't know if I've been lied to or not. Does the human fall in love with the bee?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not even. I don't even think that's the weirdest thing about the movie.
Barlow. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on to real quick here before we get to our final segment of the show, which is our wonderful listener voicemails. If you guys can plug everything you got, Ari and Lara, the podcast, your social media, whatever you feel like, throwing out there, you want people to go check out. Sure,
I'll go first. I'm Ari Grabb. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, just type my name. I have a weird name. You'll find it. Check out Perfect Pitches. It's a podcast me and Lara do, and I think it's fun. I think you'll like it too.
I agree.
And I really love my series Bento Banana. Check it out on YouTube. Lara's in it. I'm working on episode 4 right now, and I'm hoping to start streaming the process. So join me if you're into it.
I was going to say, yeah, I remember you doing that for Bento Banana 3, and that was kind of fun to just tune in once in a while, see how it all goes. And even when when I went to go visit you when you were working at Rick and Morty, it was like, oh, this is like just such a cool environment.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I work on the show Final Space right now. Season 3 is airing. Check it out. I think it looks gorgeous. It's really fun, and I want a season 4 to happen really bad. So watch it and spread the word.
Let's make it happen. Let's put that algorithm in our favor.
Yeah.
Finally, that would be nice. It could happen with this too.
Let's see here. Oh, Lara, anything you want to plug? You said you got your own podcast, Morning Wood, and where can people find that, or anything else you want to just throw out there into the ether?
Yeah, I mean, ditto to Perfect Pitches, and Bento Banana is great. Ari's a genius.
Shucks, go on.
And for Morningwood, it's on all the usual podcast sites. You can get it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm trying to think of what our host site is right now. I can't even think of it.
Whatever you're listening to this on right now, just type that in after this and go check it out.
Yeah, it's got Elijah Wood's face in the sun. You'll know it when you see it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a very fun podcast.
Yeah. Oh,
Lara has great chemistry with her roommates.
I was going to say Ari's on an episode also. That can be your intro.
Yeah, with your roommates. Do you mean like your human roommates or your snail roommates?
My human roommates. Maybe we'll do an episode with the snails,
So, I mean, if I hear some like meowing in the background, I'm not going to be like totally confused.
Right. Yeah, you'll know. You got the context now. They're a new addition, so they haven't made it on an episode yet.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'll stick around for it. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and leave us a voicemail, give us a call. Our number is 312-788-7361. Or you can always send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com.
This is the Discord news for this week, bringing you all the news worth reporting from the virtual streets of Neo-Chicago.
After Zwick posted something only he would post, a record 6-reply combo of Zwick What's Wrong With You happened before being broken.
In hashtag The Food Network, Cashew posted a picture of stuffed peppers which everyone praised until she revealed that they were made by the guy from another server who regularly commits food crimes.
Food cops.
Gamer Americans continue to hate gaming journalists as they praise games you don't have to play.
Gayfield now has competition as Gaycliff has made an appearance wearing his gay helmet. What the helmets mean, we still don't know.
Most of the server seems to be low on sleep and high on Adderall in the hashtag outrage channel this week, as everyone's opinions on gun ownership and pet care somehow align perfectly.
Your Discord's weird, man.
A lot of people seem to have confused hashtag general with hashtag long reads this past Sunday, as the channel was flooded with very original and well thought out paragraphs from the server's resident Disney adults.
In hashtag Hong Kong cartoons, I'm almost positive Son of Emmerich posted Gundams. Probably.
We would like to take this chance to welcome the new Discord member, Movie Bob.
Oh my God.
Thanks for joining.
And now to our final segment of the program, Actual Sports Update. Last Saturday, former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman completely shattered his shin bone when his opponent checked his full power low kick. He didn't realize it happened until he tried to put weight on that leg, making his foot bend almost a full 180 degrees.
Oh, this is real
F's in the
sports.
chat, please.
Oh, I'm not interested.
This week's Discord news has been presented to you by the man who doesn't care, Agent IO, and Slime to Garbage Main.
Pretty sure Grant's the one who doesn't care.
No, that was Yosef. Yosef is the one that doesn't care.
Yeah,
So you got an army of apathetics that are going to be knocking down your door any day now. We're going to go to war. Or
just kind of sleeping next to it.
Yeah, say what? So yeah, that was interesting, and they brought up Movie Bob in the Discord server. What the hell's going on with that?
I think that one of them planted Movie Bob.
Yeah, just so they could do this voicemail. Wow.
Yeah, just for the voicemail. Pathetic.
A little bit. Let's hit the next one.
Hello, Thought Cops. Once again, it is I, Leo the Incredible, gracing your voicemail on this wonderful Thursday evening. Gentlemen, I hope your evening is going well. It may be even going too well. Grant?
Yeah?
Grant?
What?
Grant, good job.
Oh, thanks.
You slayed the evil huff and puff
Thanks,
of
Dad.
the flower fields last night, my friend. You painted that hippie commune with the
He's
blood
really
of your
into
enemy.
Paper Mario.
Now, if only you had taken out
He's
the
in
hippie
anything with
flowers,
Yeah.
your job might have been 100% complete, but I don't care. Huffing Puff is gone. Level 6 conquered. Along with the amazing daisies, the Bizaps, the crazy daisies, the green magic Koopas, the tough puffs.
Oh my
even the
God.
Lakitu.
Insane.
This is
All of them
encyclopedic.
destroyed. Taken everything from them. Grant, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Kevin, look at
He's
Grant.
such a dad.
Give him an affirmative nod, a man nod.
Yeah, where's my man
You
nod?
did well. Someday, Kevin, you too will do just as well. Boys, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything you've ever done on Twitch. Goddamn. I'm at a loss for words, gentlemen. You make me so goddamn proud.
What the fuck?
I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and slay many more enemies. Leo out.
Wow.
I love that.
I just played
that.
a game that I've beaten like 5 times in my life.
But didn't that feel good though?
I guess so.
I mean, that was like a hell of a pat on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, God, we could use that in times like these.
I guess I'm uncomfortable with positive criticism. Shit on me
Just
all you
get
want. I
conquered.
don't want. Somebody tells me, "Hey, good job." I don't know what to do with that.
I like it that it's still criticism. Even when
Well, yeah.
I mean, he definitely does call in to criticize you too. I mean, it's not like he
Right.
only, praises
I thought
you.
I was gonna get a scolding.
Yeah, I mean, you never know with this
Yeah.
guy. You really never do.
Hey, I'm calling out the Thought Cops Discord because I am sick of whenever I post a picture of my cute dog Yoshi in the Normie Safe Space chat, everyone just says the racist. He's not racist if he wants to fight every dog equally. That's not racism. And he's cute, so, stop being haters.
That sounds like the South Park defense of like, I'm not racist. I hate everyone.
Also, like, there's so much that happens that I just still have no fucking. I don't know what splorts is. I don't know why people are calling Nico's dog racist. I don't know.
People call the dog racist in like other languages too. I did it in Morse code.
and I don't know why, but it's just something that simply happens.
Maybe because the dog is white.
I'm inferring it's because the dog doesn't seem to like other dogs or something.
But we've never inferred that. That's,
that's
based
kinda what
on nothing that we know.
Maybe there was an anecdote we must have missed. I don't know.
I just know one day she posted a picture of the dog and everybody just said the racist. And I can't stop.
That very well might have been it. That very well could have been the entire story.
Yeah, that's the entire joke, is that there never was a joke to begin with. People just really don't like that dog.
Jesus Christ. Really makes you think.
The spark was lit.
Sleep Science says it's from a TikTok, but I haven't seen this. I haven't witnessed this.
If it's from a TikTok, I definitely won't know it.
Yeah, I've avoided that world this long. I'm not eager to go in there.
Scary.
Oh, I'm on fumes, you guys. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, let's wrap this up real quick. We got one more voicemail. Yeah.
No, that's it.
More?
That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the last one?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
there
cool.
were only 3.
Well, in that case, Ari, Lara, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, this is so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having us. Also, like, props to you. You do a lot. Like, this is impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You sound like the Discord father, Leo.
I feel uncomfortable about your positivity towards us, but nevertheless, I am accepting.
But IO Netrunner called him Leo, Are You Winning, Son? The Incredible.
That's
it's
him.
also like 90 degrees today, and I turned the fans off for you guys.
Oh,
so,
God.
like, please get me the fuck out of here.
Go sit in the fridge, eat a sandwich in there. Please just get some rest and take care of yourselves.
See you, Space Cops.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Donate on patreon.com/thoughtcops. Bye.
Bye.